Adio.
Ho!
Welcome back to the Brinx Truck Hearse Podcast. My name is Ryan McNeil,
Michael Frieri.
and it's that time of the year again. You know, last year
Bask in its glory with me, Ryan.
praise be to He, praise be to He. We showed you what was in store for 2024 last year, and now we're going to take a look back at 2024. Do we have an official title for this one now, Mikey? We've closed the door in 2024. I know that much. Now we're going to see what the jive is for 2025. But
Is that how you say it? What is the jive, or what is in jive?
But
is jive a word?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, what's in jive?
Yeah.
You guys know what we mean.
I think it's just what's the jive.
What's the jive for 2025?
What's the jive for 2025?
Right.
Yes. So we're going to be looking at this past year. We're going to be looking at the year ahead, and similar to our previous ones, we're going to look at some of the best from a little bit of television, but mostly movies. We're going to give out kind of the BT Nature Awards in this, which are much more prestigious than the Oscars, and then we're going to take a look ahead to 2025 that we're very anticipated with. And as we discussed today, when we're preparing for this episode, sometimes a flawed system. Sometimes the movies we anticipate do not come out. Sometimes we don't even see them.
Yeah.
So, but these things happen. But it's a fun practice anyway, because we can look back at the previous year and say, why didn't I see that? Or wonder why this movie never came out. So, Mikey, kick us off. Where would you like to start here?
So, as our formula, we usually start with shows. Now, neither of us really watch shows that much, but we like to just throw it in there. I remember the first time we did this, we had the best new show, then we had the best returning show. I haven't watched the new show this year. Well, I did in part, which is an asterisk in the honorable mentions. So now we're just doing the best season of a show you've seen.
Yeah, which I still watch a decent amount of TV, but I watch Bob's Workers when it comes around, and Last Week Tonight when it comes around. It's not like I'm watching the new sitcom every week or something like that. So.
Yeah,
I am getting on the Abbott Elementary train though, but again, that's not a new show.
Oh yeah, I had her. It was pretty good.
But yes. So Mikey, tell us, what is your best season of television that came out this past year?
I'm going to start with some honorable mentions.
Please.
Honorable mentions, like I said, an asterisk on this because I only saw like half of it, but it was very good. That's Shogun. It's a remake of a show. There actually was a Shogun show before this. Yeah, it's really good. It's like
I heard it's very good.
It's like
won a bunch of awards, correct?
Yeah, it won a crap ton at the
nice.
What was it? The Golden Globes, yeah.
Yeah, I think Emmys it swept some stuff too.
Yeah, it's like a feudal Japan story where like these explorers, like because like Japan, like they don't really know much about the outside world, because I think maybe like the Portuguese like controlling everything that's happening, where like they won't let them know that there's like other countries out there. And these
what was this, like 1500s, 1600s?
Yeah, I don't know when feudal Japan was, but something like that. There were ships and muskets, but they were still samurai lasted for a long time.
Yes, yeah. So, different parts of the world back then were developing at different rates as well. So.
Yeah, and these explorers find Japan, and they're basically trying to like dismantle what they like were tied into. Unfortunately, and it's very good. Okay. I haven't finished it though, but it's very good.
Nice.
Another honorable mention goes out to, I don't know if this even counts, but the newest season of Hell's Kitchen was very good.
Hey, when you see what I pick, Hell's Kitchen counts.
Okay. It was, for some reason, it just like really clicked with me this season. Like everybody was so like fun, like, and it was like off to the worst start I've ever seen in Hell's Kitchen. Like these teams were so bad, and they finally picked up in like such a nice drive when they like started weeding out all the weak, and it actually got really good at the end. So Hell's Kitchen. I watched
a lot growing up. I really liked Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, I love all the Gordon Ramsay stuff. I watch Hell's Kitchen, MasterChef Junior, Kitchen Nightmare, all that stuff. But
it's funny, like you said, though, like how at the start it's like, it looked like the worst crews and everything.
Yeah,
it's funny how they make it seem like they're bringing like some of the best chefs and like head chefs from all across the country.
Well, the whole
and then week one, it's like man, nobody knows how to cook.
There's like a gimmick every season for like the criteria who the competitors are, and this season was head chefs only. Ooh. So all these people were head chefs, and this was the worst I've ever seen Hell's Kitchen. Like they were so bad. And it was the first time they opened it in Connecticut, so it was the first time they were ever in the East Coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. But that is not to go down to Hell's Kitchen tangent, but it is kind of a cool thing to see about communication with people who maybe aren't, especially something like this. You're a bunch of head chefs in a room. They have to learn how to communicate and play second fiddle sometimes. And
Yeah.
the kitchens are fascinating. That's why a lot of people love The Bear.
Yeah, and it really shows like how intense like cooking actually is. Like this thing is like almost like
time sensitive, dangerous.
Yeah, almost like pro sports at some points.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, shout out to that. And my final honorable mention: the now dethroned 2-time champ, The Bear.
This was back to back, huh?
Yeah, back to back. This season was. I don't even know if the season's deserving of it. It was a bad season.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
It was really weak. It felt like a season 2.5.
Really? I didn't hear much about it, honestly, when the third one came out, which is not a good sign.
Well, they're still charting. I think they're having a fourth season, so I hope they bounce back. But season 2 was so strong that like they're not going to lose viewership, I don't think.
Yeah. What would you say would you say they're going to do 5 seasons, do you think, if you were to guess in total?
I have no idea
because
they made no progress in this last. It almost got like this last season almost made me ask like, what is the goal of this show?
That's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So we'll see. But sorry for all the talk. Or maybe do you want to give your honorable mentions and we'll say our winners?
I'm not. I just watch a lot of this. I mean, I've been watching Last Week Tonight just every year. I watch it when it comes around. It's always great. Bob's Burgers is always great. What We Do in the Shadows wrapped up this year. One of my favorite shows. One of the funniest shows on television. It came to an end. Its last season was very good.
Vampires.
Yes, ended in a little foreshadowing here, and
he is a shadow.
I'm not sure what else television wise I even watched episodically that came out this year. So for honorable mentions, but yeah, I'll throw those out there. I'm assuming there's some other stuff, but nothing's jumping out to me like my winner.
Yeah. Okay. So my winner was the second season of House of the Dragon. It was like the first season of it. Like you could tell, like they don't really know where to fit after the whole Game of Thrones hype. They're clearly trying to ride on the coattails, and it doesn't have its own legs yet. But this second season was so good. I never been. It's been a while since I've been into a show like this, like weekly.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah, it really it one gave you like that feeling of like peak Game of Thrones, and two, it got its own legs. Like it stands on its own now. Mm-hmm. So it was fantastic. I can't wait for the third season because there was like foreshadowing, and it was worth the wait too. Because like The Bear, like the season comes out every year. This one took a lot of time. You know, you don't get that a lot anymore. So House of the Dragon.
Nice. My pick for television. I was thinking about what is the best episodic storytelling I have seen in this past year.
Wait,
Ryan. this may be.
I think I know what you're about to say.
I don't know if this is a little bit of cheating, maybe, but hey, it's multiple television shows and it counts TV specials. I gave it to the WWE.
Yes. Oh my God.
No, I was sitting back and I was thinking, like, what is like the most excited I got watching television this year? And I was like, mostly Monday Night Raw.
Damn, I didn't even think of that. That's such a good.
That I have to give it up to them. I am a true believer that since 2021, 2022, let's say, we have entered the best the new era, best era, in my opinion, of WWE that has ever existed. This is the best era of professional wrestling that has ever existed. That we have the opportunity to live in, and Triple H is just taking things to a whole other level, in my opinion. And yeah, we saw in just this year, CM Punk, Randy Orton. I mean, we got Elimination Chamber in the Rumble, and WrestleMania 40 was a television event. So for episodic storytelling and how obviously right now is the cool down period. Not a lot happens WWE pretty much between September and towards the end of the year. But we went into 2025. It is now Tiffy time, which is exciting for everybody. And John Cena will be coming back in 2025. So, I mean, looking at this upcoming Royal Rumble.
Oh, dude, Royal Rumble's it's stacked.
It's stacked. WWE might repeat for me in this upcoming year since we know we're getting John
now
Cena.
that I realize it's on the table, it might be taking away both of our awards. But more for you WWE fans who listen, more on that in another episode. We're gonna
stay tuned.
Yes.
But yeah, that was I just was searching and I was like, yeah, WWE. That is my best.
That's a
television programming collection.
Yeah.
That I could.
That's truly television right there.
Like, it is, and there's so much of it.
It's almost like you pick like a soap opera that just doesn't end, you know?
Yes, that's all it is. It's
literally
soap
just
opera.
like, and it's like so crazy how it kept so much steam. Dude, like they don't have like cold clear cut seasons. Like they just keep going.
No.
And 2024, like they didn't stop.
Yeah, and I mean Roman went away for, I don't know what it ended up being, 2 or 3 months. It felt like 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the Tribal Chief storyline, the final boss, and Mama Rhodes. I mean that was the best television in 2024, along with the Liv and Rhea stuff. I mean this was that was my favorite. Those are my favorite episodes of television.
They made sure they got everyone tuning in every week.
Yeah, and they got us hooked, especially. And I know it's coming around that time of the year where the next 4 months leading up to Mania, like, we're gonna be glued to the TV.
Oh yeah. All right. That'll do it for shows. Let's turn it down. We have a few new awards, which is exciting. A couple new awards.
Yes.
But we start off. We work our way up, folks. We're starting off with the worst movie that we've seen of 2024.
Let me preface. I was a little busy this year.
I don't even think you don't need to say it, but go ahead.
I watched 5 movies this whole year. So when I give you my top 5, that's all you're getting.
Anyway, all right, maybe you want to start us off with this one? We've already spoken about this.
Apologies. Which one movie is it?
No, this is the worst movie of the year.
Oh, the worst movie. We will discuss it, I'm assuming, in another category in some way. Correct?
In the exact next category, yeah.
It's for me my most. It was Nosferatu. I did not like it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bad film. There were aspects of it that were very well done. I really wanted to like it, but not good. Not good.
I don't even know what was well done.
It is shot nicely.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. There is like a really in the beginning. There's a really cool shot where like the curtains like float like being blown through the wind, and you see his shadow, and they're like face. That's really cool.
I thought all the shadow stuff was cool. I thought all those shots were interesting. There were some, like the candlelight scenes were kind of cool. There were a lot of repetitive visuals, though, as I've said before. I mean, how many times can you have a subject and then you 180-degree pan across darkness to another subject? So, shots of people waking up. So, I mean, there were still some. I even have gripes with how the movie was shot, but I can give it that, and there were some good performances in it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm grasping at straws because there was a lot more that I didn't like than I actually liked.
Yeah.
But both of us gave the film.
We'll talk about what you didn't like. This is your worst movie. Go ahead.
A measly 2 stars. I just didn't like anything about how they handled, and you've seen it now, so I can go further. I did not care how they handled the main character of Nosferatu, Count Orlok, where he, first of all, I don't know why he is the size of Shaquille O'Neal. He is massive, and like he doesn't. At no point does he feel like a vampire. He just feels like a monster to me. He's laboring. His speech is like it's almost zombie-like. He's like scabby all over himself, and like people say, oh, the mustache and how he looks, his big furry hat. It's supposed to be of the times, a rich person of the times, and I don't care. He's a vampire. You can make him look however the hell you wanted to make him look, and. As you've now seen in the film now, Mikey, the way he speaks in the movie, and again, like he wasn't evil, he was just horny. Which was one of my main, I guess, gripes with it. Is the whole plot was driven in just an uninteresting way, and Nosferatu and Count Orlok was just not an interesting character.
I think I think what I liked about it is what you didn't like. Like I liked Count Orlok. Like, I liked how he looked. Yeah. I thought it was a cool, interesting touch. Like, I like how they dove more into the monster aspect. Yeah, they could have been a little more I don't know, human. I don't know how you would say it.
Vampiric.
Yeah, a little more like not sexy vampiric, but like I thought it was I thought it was really well how they made him look, how they made him. I thought he talked cool, but it was like annoying to get through.
Yeah, it took so long.
I wish they kind of showed him more. Like I don't know why. Like what was the big secret? Like why can't we like know what he looks like? Like why is he always got to be shrouded in the shadows?
Yeah, and his powers were very vague. Like how he's possessing them, it made no sense.
I didn't understand a thing. I'm like, why can't he just be like kind of just a vampire, just like coming after his goods? You know, like why? Like how is he like? What is with this possession? And like I don't.
Yeah, it's like he's possessing him and her at different points, and he's possessing her. If he can, like, he has that ability, why doesn't he just like use it to get what he wants?
Yeah,
like I understand there's the thing of like, oh, she has to give herself willingly, but I thought that was just for like X, Y, and Z to happen.
Yeah,
like it wasn't. It just. In the whole driving force of like he's buying the house. Does he know she's there? That's why he's buying the house there. I don't know.
But why did he need to buy the house? He literally never stepped foot in that. He just like always just like shadowed his way over into their house. Killed.
That's another thing is like the shadow thing is like I don't know. I don't know his physical manifestation. I don't know.
Yeah, I never know.
And sometimes they wake up from dreams that they had where he was there. So I don't know if he just in their heads again or like.
Yeah, I never know when he's truly there.
Cool. Yeah, which is cool. The vagueness of stuff
but
like that is cool, but it's more annoying than cool in this instance.
I didn't like how this guy's like every night he kept going into their house, picking them off one by one, and like they wake up and like he got him again. Oh well, I guess we'll go back to sleep. Like at least like try to go somewhere or something. Like have some care of what's happening.
Where he sold the house to him. Nicholas sold, and he knows that he's coming.
Yeah.
You know? And then she goes, because she can like sense it when he arrives, like, oh, he's here. They don't have a fucking conversation like, oh, that's the guy. Maybe we should go get him. And then when they do decide to go get him, they of course go at night.
Yeah, like, when he's always at their house. So of course he's not there.
Yeah, and I bet you had the same reaction as me when he appears in the bedroom and he says, like, I will give you 3 nights. And I remember just going, 3 more nights of this shit? Are you kidding? I thought we were going to go in the final act right now.
Yeah.
3 nights.
It was truly rough. It was really...
It was a difficult watch. It just took... I said it felt like 3 hours long. It is...
Like, I think apart from Aaron Taylor Johnson and Count Orlok, I don't think I liked any other performance.
Nicholas Holt's fine. I mean, his character's just kind of stupid. He just feels like like the way his character's written is supposed to like kind of get things rolling a little bit. Lily Rose Depp, I think, is good. She again, like the possession stuff, I watch and I'm like, oh, I would just rather be watching The Exorcist right now. So it's stuff like that where.
Yeah, can we stop shaking? Like, what are we doing? Like, she goes like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, like that stuff I thought was good acting, but like it just felt derivative of stuff I've seen before.
Yeah, and it was happened way too like we get it. She's like possessed. Like anyway.
And I'm not like and Eggers is a good director. Like in the amount of jump scares in the movie was just not what I expected from Eggers. Like after The Witch and Lighthouse, which are so
it's very
atmosphere heavy,
like builds it
creepy, and they get under your skin.
More psychological than anything.
And then this movie has moments where it has moments like that. The best sequence in the movie, which was when Nicholas Hoult is traveling and he doesn't have his horse and the carriage comes and the door just opens by itself. All that stuff was fantastic. I was like, this is the kind of movie I want to be seeing. And it didn't stay with that tone. And then, I mean, I don't think he's he's not Yorgos, but in The Lighthouse, he has Pattinson fuck a mermaid, and now in this movie, there's all kinds of gore porn shit. Like Eggers might need to be on a watch list, not a real list. Yorgos should be on a list.
Did you catch when Nosferatu? We first see him. He comes out of the what's it called? The casket, and he stands up. You see his penis.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
In a shadow though, to keep in theme.
He's entirely in a shadow. Everything's shadowy with him. And it's just again disappointing because Eggers directing Nosferatu movie. I was like, oh, this is gonna be
Yeah, it was.
This is perfect for him.
This was
And
my
then
most anticipated.
casting Bill Skarsgård. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, he's gonna knock this out of the park. And then the direction they went with him, and the performance, and the voice, the look of everything. He's 9 feet tall. He's basically a zombie with his dick out. Like, it's not. I didn't pay to see this.
I think above all else for me, the problem was there was just something missing. Like, there was no like glue. Like, it just felt a little heartless at times. Like, I don't know. There was no
Fair, yes.
Yeah, which it felt like almost like a bare bones of a movie.
Yeah, one instance, especially when Nicholas Hoult, what does he do? He wakes up like in the river, and like those are people that heal him back to health.
Yeah.
And then he just leaves, and it felt like there were like 5 deleted scenes.
Yeah, his story was strange because like I didn't even know how he got out of the castle. Like he kind of just woke up. Like Orlok just sucked his blood. He kind of just like got up and like, oh, all right, let's go. Like Orlok didn't want to like.
Oh no, he jumped off, and he's on like the ledge, and he jumped off into the water.
Oh yeah,
I was trying to remember it too, but no, I also didn't understand. He's going from friggin' Germany to like Romania or something, and they're like, "Here's a horse in a bag. We'll see you when you get back." He's like, "No, any man would die." It like the Gypsy Town stuff was interesting. I love the Gypsy Town stuff.
I don't know. There was just a whole lot missing for me.
There was a lot missing. I agree. It was yeah.
I gave it 2 stars, but
as did I.
There really wasn't much holding me back from going lower.
Same. The fact I will be able to remember some visuals and some creepy atmosphere and eeriness, and overall it is a it's a well-made film in that kind of way.
Yeah, I guess.
And the technical aspects of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say performances wise also, I wish everybody could treat this like Willem Dafoe treated it. Willem Dafoe seemed to be the only person who realized he was in a vampire movie.
I liked the scene when he first showed up.
Yes, he was taking it seriously, but he was having a little bit of fun with it because he's in a vampire movie.
The story was put in a way where like it seemed like no one had a grasp of what was going on. Like the characters didn't know what was happening, which just makes me even more less out of the know.
Because the vagueness of like, what is he doing, what are his goals, and they kind of explain it later on with the stuff with the plague and everything, and it's like, okay, but like I like the stuff with the ship. That stuff contributed to the 2 stars. The people going mad on the ship, and then they're trying to unload all the cargo and blah 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 blah. But it just wasn't it, man. It was
very weak. Very weak. Now, I did actually have a movie that I considered to be worse than Nosferatu.
What rating?
This was a half star for me.
A half star? That's the lowest you can go, Mike.
And that was the 2024 remake of Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor.
I did not hear good things.
It was absolutely horrible. It's been a while since I watched it, so notes are a little slim, other than the fact that it sucked. But
I try to eliminate it from your memory as well.
Performances were just abysmal, even to the point where like Jake Gyllenhaal was pretty weak, and Jake Gyllenhaal is like he's a master actor. I said in my review, like, I think everyone should be embarrassed of this except for Conor McGregor, because like
just fits him.
Yeah, and it's his first movie. It's like, whatever, I guess I'm gonna do a movie. It was just really, really bad. I'm not gonna get into another long-winded conversation because Ryan hasn't seen it, and my memory's a little foggy on it. So, but that it sucked. That was my worst movie.
This was one where, Doug Liman and Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, Doug Liman's a really good director, and obviously Gyllenhaal is Gyllenhaal. Gyllenhaal I equate kind of the level of a Christian Bale, where like no matter what he does, I kind of want to see it just because I trust his choice that much. But it does open an interesting conversation where it's hard to remake 80s movies, maybe more than any other kind of movie, because 80s movies just fit such a particular style, I feel like, of those times that, like, in movies back then too, there was a lot of style over substance in the 80s, so you're not remaking Roadhouse for a plot, you know? It's like with a lot of 80s movies that get remakes. So that failed because of that reason. It was a lot of style that made it successful before, so you can't replicate style. So
yeah,
it's
cool.
But yeah, I'm not seeing that movie.
Yeah, I don't blame you. All right, now we have a couple of new awards to divvy out to. That is our most disappointing movie of the year. Do we have the same movie for this?
Yes.
Okay, it's Nosferatu, correct?
Yes, it was your most anticipated going into last year. I forget. I don't think it was on my list because I don't think I knew the movie.
It was an honorable mention.
Was it? Okay. But yeah, truly as disappointed in a movie as I've been in a while. As disappointing a theater experience as I've had in a while, because I sat there and I got 3/4 into it and I was like, wow, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to like
it's
this.
a really bad feeling when you start to realize, like, I actually just...
Yeah.
It gets to the point where, like, you're trying to like it and then you're just like, I just don't like it.
Yeah. And it was the worst kind of frustration, because it's not like I went in and I was like, oh, this is just bad. That sucks. It was frustrating because there were things in it I really liked. I really wanted to like the movie. I went in really excited to see it. So it was more frustrating that, like, it had some good stuff, but it couldn't build on it. If everything was just bad, it'd be like, okay, it's bad.
Yeah.
It was similar. The only, like, similar feeling I could think of a disappointing theater experience was Jason Bourne, the fourth Bourne movie that came out.
Oh, that was the only movie I ever walked out on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I love the first three Bourne movies, and I went to see that one, and I was like, wow, this is just not good.
That was so boring.
It's just so bland. There's no flavor to it, and that and BVS. Which is...
I think as a kid, I thought it was cool.
I probably enjoy it enough back then, and I probably could watch it now and enjoy it enough, but, like, again, dude, how old was I? Jeez, 14?
Mm-hmm.
When that movie came out, I was the target audience for Batman v Superman. I was a 14-year-old boy, and yeah, I thought it was going to move mountains, man, and it didn't. It did not.
No, unfortunately.
So, yeah, Nosferatu, most disappointing.
Yeah,
bad movie.
Yeah. Now we have let's get happy now, folks. Let's get happy.
Hey.
Well, maybe because Ryan only watched 5 movies, so we're gonna have to hear Nosferatu again. House is starting to get a little jump in it, folks.
It is starting to get a little jump. Wait till we get the best picture.
We have our most surprising movie of the year. Maybe a movie you didn't like have high hopes for. You're just like, let me just check it out, or you kind of just like went along with your friends, and you really enjoyed it. For me, that was Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. This is surprising for me because, one, I don't care for Anya Taylor-Joy, and two, I didn't like Fury Road. So, yes, this does have some visual flaws with the CGI, which I know is like a big thing people are upset about because of how practical Fury Road was, but it did have some flaws, but it still looked great. I liked the story a lot. This is kind of like revenge story, but at the same time, it's like building up on the world where like there are more than one warlord other than Immortan Joe that's like fighting for territory. I did like Immortan Joe. Is that not his name?
No, that's his name. Yeah, it's just with the best character names of all time.
Yeah. So that was cool. I liked Chris Hemsworth in it. That was really surprising. A really surprising breakout role for him, I think. And I really loved... Have you seen this movie?
No, I do really want to see it, because, I mean, I really like Fury Road.
Well, it's on Netflix if you want to check it out. But
okay.
They have a really cool, like, Fury, Mad Max driving action sequence. A couple, actually, that, like, really, they, like, kind of, like, take its time. Music isn't blaring over it. You're kind of just, like, paying attention to everything going on. It's a really cool scene. So, yeah, Furiosa was really surprising for me, considering everything I just said.
For me, most surprising, because I went into, excited for some movies that I ended up liking a lot. A movie I didn't really have any anticipation on seeing, though. Ended up being fairly high on my best movies of the year list. and that movie would.
Whoa.
Why are you smirking?
What a story! Very high on your list. It worked its way up. It's basically duking out with 4 other movies because Nosferatu's just watching in the back.
Nosferatu's the only movie I didn't like in the top 5.
Oh,
so
okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah, it's Nosferatu and then 4 movies I did like and gave positive ratings to. I had never seen Gladiator going into this year, and then in December, my friend JJ, a BT&H challenge participant, he texted me, he said, watch Gladiator so we can go watch Gladiator 2. And I said, cool. And I watched Gladiator. I was like, oh, that was awesome. That was cool. Let's go see the second one. And we go see the second one, and I love the second one just as much as I love the first one. I think I gave them both 4 stars. I think they're both very cool companion pieces to each other. And, sometimes is the second one a little too much like the first one? Sure. It happens. It still has enough of its own thing going on, in my opinion. And I think it was a great action movie, and it had high drama and everything. It's exactly what you want from it. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It has fun with it. There's some comedy in it. There's characters that are out there. There's some color and flavor to it, which is necessary. There's stuff you remember from it. It's incredibly well directed. Ridley Scott the guy's been making good movies for decades now. So, and I found this one to be no exception. So that was definitely my most surprising, because when I first heard about it, I was like, I didn't know you could make Gladiator 2. And then for them to pull it off, for something to be loosely connected to the first one all these years later, I think it came out tremendously well.
I also rewatched Gladiator before I saw Gladiator 2, and I really liked Gladiator before. But when I rewatched the first Gladiator, when it ended, I was like, that's a pretty damn perfect movie. Like, for me, at least. So, like, it got that bump up to 5 stars, actually. I watched it and I was like, damn.
Oh, wow.
Like, this hits just about everything. It is such an amazing story and has such great moments, action sequences, the whole lot. I'm like, this is a perfect movie. So after that, I was very excited for your Gladiator 2. I was going to say something else, but kind of forgot it. So, I'm happy that you enjoyed Gladiator 2, because...
Yes, I liked it quite a lot.
Yeah. More on Gladiator 2 for me later on.
Oh.
But I already did surprise. We both did surprise. So, I know I had a good point for Gladiator 2, but I can't remember it.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, fuck. Oh well. Now, it's time to get into the Big 5. Ryan, do you have any honorable mentions?
No.
Okay. My honorable mentions include, I'll just list my top 10, or I'm going to list my top 11.
Okay.
Because, my honorable mention go out to M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. I really enjoyed it. A lot of fun. Did you see that?
I don't think I've heard of this movie.
Oh, it was pretty good.
Okay.
I have Wicked. I have Gladiator 2. I have
Absolutely.
Juror Number 2. I have Monkey Man. And just
that's good.
missing the top 5 is Conclave. I really enjoyed Conclave.
I should see that too. That might win some of those golden trophies.
Yeah. Maybe, hopefully. We'll see. We are not talking about Oscars this year because it's just so uninteresting.
Yeah.
But yeah. You want to just go one by one?
Yeah, my number 5 is Nosferatu. I'm sick of talking about this movie. Give me your 5.
My number 5 is Furiosa. We already spoke on that.
Okay. My number 4, we got a new movie we haven't talked about yet. Maybe we got Ricky Stanicki. This movie was a good time. Did I expect it to be in my top 5 for the year when I watched it back in January? No, I did not. However, this is a really fun movie. Just a great comedy you could put on. A lot of great cameos. John Cena, Zac Efron. They're all really fun in this movie. You know what you're getting, and you get a really good time. And it's one definitely you can revisit and be like, that makes me smile. That makes me smile. Yeah.
I do remember what my point was for Gladiator 2, but let's just move on.
Okay.
My number 5. We're on 4 now. My number 4 is the new. I believe this is an A24 movie actually, and that's We Live in Time with Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. Really great story. I mean, a lot of people say like it's just good because it makes you sad, but I think it's a good movie. Past that, I think their relationship on screen is just so amazing and beautiful that it almost like kind of makes. It almost like makes you think about how you are in your relationships. So, like, I think that alone.
Is it a date movie or not really? Maybe for an introspective couple?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
And it's...
was there, like, controversy behind this movie? Or am I thinking of something else?
Ooh, I think you're thinking of It Ends With Us.
Yes. Okay.
No, that is not that movie.
Okay.
But yeah, just heartfelt... Great movie. Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh both put on amazing performances, and you feel something other than sadness. You feel something.
And you said A24?
I believe so. Yeah.
When A24 isn't making horror, they kind of cook.
Yeah. I
agree.
Yeah.
So I mean, because Uncut Gems is the best example I can think of. So.
They have a Best Picture winner. Oh, they have 2 Best Picture winners now. Everything Everywhere All at Once and Moonlight.
That's right. Yeah. See what they do when they don't give movies a RAS.
A lot of people like Lady Bird.
I love Lady Bird.
I didn't care for it actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I can really think of right now. But yeah, We Live in Time is great. Number 3, Ron.
Now I move on to
number 4. Number 4, excuse me.
No, I did Ricky Snake.
Number 3.
Number 3, I have a Netflix original movie. It's a movie I was greatly anticipating from when I first heard about it, and that is Unfrosted, the Jerry Seinfeld Pop-Tart movie.
Oh. Okay.
And this movie got horrible reviews. People thought it was so stupid. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. And exactly what I wanted it to be. It's just takes itself very silly. It is loosely based on a true story about the creation of the Pop-Tart. I found it very interesting. I think it's well written. It's got tons of funny people in it. That was never going to be an issue when you have Seinfeld, Gaffigan, Schumer, Maniscalco, and all these different people in it. So the heavy hitters are there, and the writing. It was written by Seinfeld and writers from the sitcom too, so it was, there's clever wordplay, and I mean it's exactly what you think it's going to be. It's a Seinfeld movie about Pop-Tarts. There are no surprises in that, and it's just a really fun time. And it's a really fun. I think I gave it 4 stars. It's a really funny movie.
Good.
So I highly recommend.
I'm happy to hear you enjoying movies right now. So
after my Nosferatu tirades,
yeah, after the fact that 1 out of 5 movies that you've seen you absolutely despise.
More or less, yeah. There's never been a 2-star movie that I despise this much.
Okay, yeah.
Because again, it's the frustration factor.
Yeah,
it was good, but it could have been great. I
get it.
Yeah, again, we can't go down that road again. You're number 3, Mike.
My number 3 is Alien Romulus.
Ooh, I heard fantastic.
It was so good.
What rating did you give this?
What's that?
What rating did you give this?
4.5. I don't have a. I don't have a 5-star this year.
Neither do I.
I had 2 5-stars coming into our last year's video, but then I bumped up holdovers to another 5, so I had 3 5-stars for 2023.
Wait. Oppie holdovers and
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Killers of the Flower Moon. That's right. I've seen holdovers once.
Maybe we were too spoiled by 2023, or 2024 just shit the bed.
No. Bit of both, man. Bit of both, man. 2023 was. And we're gonna look. We are halfway through the 2020s right now. Think about that. We are halfway through the 2020s, and I mean, we are probably gonna look back and we're gonna say that Oppenheimer and Holdovers are the 2 best movies of the decade, and they came out in the same year.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what's competing with them right now? No movies came out in 2020 and 2021, so that didn't help.
2022, I had the Banshees of Inisherin at 5 stars, but I don't even know if I would consider it on par. I mean, obviously they're all 5 stars, but they're not. It's not really contesting anything.
Yeah, and on my next seasonal watch, I'm assuming I have a feeling Holdovers will earn its
Yeah, but
earn its 5 stars.
anyway, Alien
Yes.
Romulus. You know, the 2020s have been notorious for its legacy sequels, and yes, there have been plenty more Alien movies since the first few Aliens. But you know, this was like basically kind of a reboot, a new main character, and usually when you have these like reboots with a new main character and everything, these new main characters really suck, and you can't help but it can't help but take away from the movie.
Hmm.
Here, I really, really like the new main character, Rain. She was so just an amazing performance. She's an amazing character, lots of layers, and you can really feel like, you know, like she wasn't someone who was totally equipped to handle the situation, but she's like scrappy and she can like figure these things out. And her crew, her like what are they called again? The synths, the not like the android people.
Oh, yeah.
Synthetics.
All I can think of is replicants, but that's Blade Runner. Yeah, synthetic something synth. Yeah,
She had like some. I don't know if it was a romantic relationship, but like a very close friendship with the synthetic, who also put on another great performance and was a great character. Just everything about this is cool, and it pushes the bill a little more. We're not just dealing with an alien monster. They make something new at the end that poses a huge threat, and it's a super cool looking monster. But it just adds a little more spice to the franchise, and I thought it looked great. It had all the right beats for an alien movie. It was scary. It was action packed. It was suspenseful.
Who directed this? Do you remember?
A fellow named Fede Alvarez, who did
Oh yeah, he
2013 Evil Dead, Don't
that's
Breathe.
what I'm thinking of. People said Don't Breathe is very good. 2013 Evil Dead is that's a really good movie.
Yeah, so it was great. Absolutely loved it.
Nice.
Number 2, right?
My number 2, I won't get too much into, but I Gladiator 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So here was my point for Gladiator 2.
Yes.
Since you watched both of them back to back, did you catch on with the fact that he was his son going into the second one?
I think I had heard about it beforehand, so it wasn't like something I had to figure out for myself.
Okay.
So I can't remember like how early on I'm supposed to figure it out, or this, that, or the other, because I don't think it was like a secret they were trying to keep for the movie. But yeah, that was something I already knew. But was it something that you like found out during the movie?
Well, when I watched the first movie again, I think they make it fairly obvious that he is. Like they already basically confirmed that Maximus. Yeah. And I don't even remember what her name is, but Joaquin Phoenix's sister?
Yeah, the sister he was sleeping with.
It was pretty much confirmed that they had a relationship. And you know, and Maximus takes a great deal of care when it comes to Lucius during the movie. So to me, it was pretty much implied that he was. And there's like this big conversation that like they basically retconned everything and like rewrote the plot to make him his son, but I thought it was kind of already there.
Yeah, I don't think it changes anything concerning the first movie really that much. I mean, yeah, it doesn't affect like any character relationships, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, anything else you want to add to the Gladiator 2 conversation?
Good movie.
Okay. Was a good movie. Was a good movie.
Number 2, Mike.
My number 2, just getting squeaked out a bit here, is Luca Guadagnino's Challengers.
You did really like this movie.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And it's like a really good like sports movie, unconventional sports movie at that, so it's even more interesting. It's sassy, the music's fun,
Sassy. That's a word for it.
It is. It's a sassy movie. The music's fun. The performances are great. And it looks really good. Like it's all shot really nicely. Yeah.
Is this the director that did Call Me by Your Name?
Yeah, Call Me by Your Name.
Okay.
Did a few other things that I'm not remembering. He also did another movie this year. He did 2 movies this year. But
Double duty.
yeah, but I love Challengers. So good. So much fun.
Okay. My number 1.
Whoa!
What?
We gotta wait. We're doing a best picture after everything.
Oh, we're saving our number 1s. Excuse me. I thought we were just going to do best picture right now. Oh, we're going to reveal that finally. Okay. Fine.
Now we get
Fair.
into
The BTH Awards.
the BTs. The BTs.
The BTs, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Look under your seats, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, I have to say, I have just about not a single thing that was reflected in the Oscar nominations.
Oh, I definitely
winning.
don't.
Well, I'm very interested to see how you make give out these awards.
Dude.
I'm very interested. I on the other hand, instead of 5 movies, I watched 24 movies, which is a good amount.
That's a lot.
I guess so. All right.
Especially like during the year, you know?
Yeah.
Like I may have watched like 24 movies that came out in like 2014, but that like accumulatively, you know. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, once it's during the year, I really watch it for this episode. I make sure I get them all.
The commitment of this man. Good up.
Hey, when are we getting paid, bro? Anyway, do you
remember that? Side note: do you remember that era when like every YouTube video was sponsored by Loot Crate?
I remember. It got to the point where I actually had a subscription to Loot Crate.
Did you? I was strongly considering it for a while. Like in middle school, I was like, man, this. Okay.
All it did was
awesome.
just,
you get like a T-shirt and like a water bottle every month.
All it did was pack up a bunch of unnecessary shit in my house.
Yeah.
For a whole year, so I got 12 boxes of shit. Sometimes you get like a Funko Pop in there though, which would be cool because like Funko Pops are like cool. Pretty.
Yeah. Every now and then you get something good.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we're gonna start off with our best supporting actress of the year. Do you have any honorable mentions, Ryan?
I did not have time to go through honorable mentions.
Okay, great.
Pick somebody.
I had an honorable mention, which was Ariana Grande in Wicked. I think she I think she's the best part about the movie. Like every time she's on screen, you kind of just like gravitate towards her just because of her character and how she like performs the character. Apart, like I'm not even talking about like the singing, like just how she like carried herself in the movie.
Interesting.
Really good. Yeah. But my winner was Rebecca Ferguson in Dune Part 2.
She's a good actress. She's in the Mission Impossible movies. I really like her in those.
Yeah, she was really good in Dune, where like she plays like this very like unconventional kind of motherly figure where she was looking after Paul, and then like Paul like ascended into something much more. So she kind of just has to like help him and like almost like kind of like be like bullied by him a little bit. It's really interesting, but like she's also taking on this like leadership role with the Fremen people, the people of Arrakis. I know I'm kind of speaking in interesting terms,
strange tongues.
But yeah, Rebecca Ferguson was really good in my opinion.
Excellent. I slim pickings over here, folks. I went with. This was a matter of, let me find a movie that had a supporting actress.
Yeah.
Like that had a role big enough that I could say that was a supporting actress, not the lead actress, but a supporting actress. Because I mean, someone like Ricky Stenicki, like there's like no women in that movie. I went with Daphne Keane from Deadpool and Wolverine. In her very brief scenes, she is fantastic.
Who is this again?
What is she? X-24, I think, the one from Logan.
Oh,
two, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's very, very good. In her few scenes, she has that emotional scene with Logan when they're sitting by the campfire talking about their relationship and what they meant to each other. And she's someone who I She was excellent in Logan. I think that's one of the best child actor performances we've ever gotten. And
Yeah.
she was very good in this in a supporting role, and I do hope we get to see more of her in the MCU going forward.
Hey, good pick. Good pick. Now we're going to talk about supporting actor, naturally.
Yes.
I do have an honorable mention, and that was Josh O'Connor in Challengers.
Okay.
But my winner, and I think we probably have the same one, actually, because you've actually seen this movie. And that's Denzel in Gladiator 2.
Yes,
Right.
it is, yeah. And he was so good in this.
Yeah,
He was. I mean, it's not surprising, but like he was like, they clearly like let him have fun with it.
Yeah.
And like his character was just awesome and Machiavellian, and now, again, like he was so charismatic, and he was evil, but he did it. He was so likable too, and like he's duping like people that are just as bad, if not worse, than him. So it does that thing where it makes you kind of want to root for him. So he plays a cool kind of anti-hero role. He's he was just fantastic, and he's in it a lot too, which is good. I was worried going into it. I was like, how much did they really get Denzel in this? But he's great.
I was pleasantly surprised by that. So.
And he gets to wear some robes.
Yeah, cool stuff. Lead actress. I do have a couple honorable mentions this time around. I have Kaylee Spaney in Alien Romulus, and then I have Florence Pugh in We Live in Time. But it all goes to Zendaya in Challengers. Talk about girl boss.
Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, she just like commands the screen really well. Yeah. It's just a great movie, great role. I mean, girl boss moment. Anyway.
What more was one to say?
Your lead actress, Ryan, please.
I guess she's a lead actress in it, and it's just for I think she was good in it for some particular sequences, and that's for
oh god,
the worst movie on my list. I'm viewing it to Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu. She's the only person that qualifies as a lead actress in any of the movies, so I guess she wins it by default. But I will give her credit for a lot of the possession sequences. She does a fantastic job, I think, and I do think she does give a very good performance in the movie, considering what has been put in front of her. And there's a lot of stuff I did not care for. So, but she was good, and and there was a lot of stuff, especially in those possession sequences, the eyes rolling back, stuff with the jaw, the shaking, where it was clearly her. Like Eggers can only tell her to do, can only direct so much. You could tell that was an actor doing something. So, I'll go with her. Why not?
Nice. Well said. Now we have our lead actor role, baby. I have 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 honorable mentions here. That is Rafe Phineas, if that's how you pronounce his name, I don't know, in Conclave.
Okay.
I have Andrew Garfield in We Live in Time, and then I have Josh Hartnett in Trap. This movie you still didn't know existed.
But Josh Hartnett still in stuff, though. I like him.
Yeah.
He was great in Oppie.
Yeah, he was. But my lead actor role goes to Timbuktu Shadashu in Dune Part 2. I didn't know this kid had it in him. When I watched this, like
Paul Atreides, Duke of Arrakis.
What have I seen of him before this? Actually,
Lady Bird.
I've seen Lady Bird. Yeah.
You see Call Me by Your Name. Little Woman.
Yeah, Little Woman. I think I've seen Wonka before this.
Okay, yeah. I think Wonka came out before Dune Part 2. I'm just trying to think of other stuff he did now. That he did that movie with Steve Carell, Beautiful Boy.
Yeah, I didn't see that. But anyway,
that movie you hate, The King.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I did not know this kid had it in him, because like it's a much harsher turn than the first Dune for plot reasons as to what happens. God bless, as to what happens to his character. And it was like just knowing who this kid is, like Timothée Chalamet. Such a goofy person in general. Like the fact that he can pull off this role so well, it's amazing. And like when I watched the first Dune, because I read the books, so like the book, so I knew like it would be an intense role. I found the casting to be very odd, but he proved me wrong. I gotta say, it truly, it really is the best performance I think of the year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, really good.
High praise. I guess I do have a couple honorable mentions here. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, very good, returning to that role.
Great.
Honorable mention. However, the most memorable performance would go to none other than Ricky Snicki himself. We're giving it to John Cena. Congratulations, John Cena. Here is your beatie.
Here, woohoo,
The
baby.
first of many I know. If we were counting television hell, I might have given this thing to Roman Reigns.
Dude, I would have gave it to The Rock. I would have given it to The Rock.
Oh, the final boss.
Yeah.
It probably would have been the final boss, actually. Yeah, we're going with John Cena. Great and Ricky Stenicki, and his comedic chops are underrated. He's played zany characters, suburban dad. This dude is like his dude's has a lot of issues in this movie. So and he plays it perfectly.
Yeah.
He has great chemistry with everybody he has to bounce off of, and he is fantastic. He's John Cena. He's America's sweetheart.
Enjoy your beatie, baby.
Yeah, enjoy the beatie, John. See you next year at the awards.
I'm very interested to see where this award goes for you. But now we have our best director. Honorable mentions for me go out to Luca Guadagnino and George Miller for Furiosa. But my winner goes to Denis Villeneuve for Dune. I mean, I think you know where my awards are going at this point. But the fact that this guy made this thing and put it all together, like it totally deserving of director of the year for me. It's just amazing work, and it was all at his hands.
Similar to
as you can tell, we're flying through this.
You mentioned George Miller making a movie like Furiosa at his age, similar to Scorsese at his age making these movies, and I went with for my best director, Ridley Scott at the age of 87 years old makes an epic like Gladiator 2. That's nothing to scoff at right there. And I mean, the only other person I can think of making movies at this age and later is someone like Clint Eastwood, who was making movies into his 90s.
He made Juror number 2 this year.
That's right, yeah. So, I mean, he's still making movies. And I mean, how old is he? Is he like 95 or something?
I don't even know.
He's up there, but so I would Ridley Scott, yeah. I mean, it's just an absolute epic. You get great performances out of it. The art direction, the sets in it are magnificent, and it was just great. And it was all very well put together, and a loving continuation for this movie in relation to the first one.
I agree. And it's a really well put together movie. I mean, so he clearly hasn't lost it.
Yeah.
And it's just like such an interesting, like he's clearly making such interesting choices of movies recently. Like he did Napoleon. Like he's just doing what he wants right now. It's like a really interesting position he's in.
And if you go through his career, I mean, that's more or less what he's done, and it's fantastic though.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like kind of. I mean, he didn't want to be boxed in as like a science fiction guy. He did Alien and Blade Runner, but they turned around and made Thelma and Louise, like a completely different movie, and you don't.
He did like Peggy Sue gets married.
Yeah, like you watch that and you're not like, oh, that's a.
Oh no, that's Coppola. That's Coppola. My apologies.
Oh yeah, but
I get them two. They're two old guys still working.
Fair, yeah. But Coppola actually might be older than Ridley Scott. Mentioned about older.
And he also just put out a movie too.
But yeah, he's in that great position where there's no such thing as like, oh, what is a Ridley Scott movie? It's like, well, he makes science fiction movies in space, and then he makes Sword and Sandals movies, and then a movie like Thelma and Louise, like a gangster movie like American Gangster, which is fantastic. He made Hannibal, The Martian, and then just in these last few years, like his post-COVID run is crazy. The Last Duel, House of Gucci, Napoleon, Gladiator 2. Just a wild group of movies, whether they're like good or not, received well or not. Crazy group to make 4 in a row in a 3-year span.
Yeah. Kudos to him.
So yeah, Ridley Scott, give it up.
Now, folks, it has come down to this. The 2024 BD's Best Picture Awards go out to Ryan. Start us off.
Deadpool Wolverine, ladies and gentlemen. Deadpool Wolverine gets the beat for me for the best picture of the year. This was my most anticipated going into the year. And again, it was something I had
I'm
high
glad yours
expectations
worked
for.
out.
Yes, yes. It's something I had high expectations for, and it met it. It met those high expectations. It's pretty much everything I wanted it to be, honestly. It was a fun time. It had cameos, which served the story well. It still felt like a Deadpool movie in every single way. But it expanded on things because a lot of times people will, say like, oh, like, they kind of morph things. Like some people said, oh, Captain America: Civil War was just an Avengers movie. Like Captain America didn't get a third movie, and it's like, yes, but if they made another Winter Soldier, like, it would have just felt like we didn't need this kind of thing. It felt like so a Deadpool movie. If we just got a straight up Deadpool movie where he's fighting somebody else, the gimmick honestly may have gotten a little stale. I think, and so it was vital for them to bring in Wolverine, and all the stuff with the MCU happening is, I think, working in this movie. At least it worked out very well. So, but yeah, it's what you expect. It's got great action in it. It's gory. The multiverse stuff is fascinating. It's very memorable. So and I maybe I could amend my best supporting actor from Denzel Washington to Channing Tatum as Gambit. I mean, he is
He was
absolutely
very good.
stupendous in this movie.
He was
film.
very
So
good.
some of the best lines in the movie, in my opinion, were delivered by Channing Tatum's Gambit. So Deadpool Wolverine definitely takes it. And I was a little worried, though, again, also because I think it was a different director this time, if I'm not mistaken, than the first two. So, they went from, I can't remember who did the first two now, actually. Tim Miller, I think was the guy's name or something. But then it was Sean Levy, who has done Night at the Museum and did Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. And, didn't miss a beat. The movie was fantastic. So, I got to give Deadpool Wolverine.
Good call. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes.
That was also a very fun one on my list. I I loved it. So, my best picture, can you guess, folks? Once again, I think my awards give it out like last year.
Yes.
That is Dune Part 2. Unfortunately, Smart House 2 was not released this year, so Dune Part 2 made it.
Another year wasted.
Like I said, like when I was watching this movie on screen in theaters, like there's some scenes where you're just watching this thing and you're like, I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Like I cannot believe this is what movies have come to. Like him riding the sandworms. Just an unreal scene. Unreal. And I'm so happy that like I'm alive to even see this come to fruition. Like this is what movies have come to. We're at the peak of movies right here, folks. Amazing. And like I said, great performances across the board. Lead, supportings, everything. Visuals are amazing. I mean, this is what Denis does. He's a cinematography freak. An amazing score. Hans Zimmer does a great job. And actually, I think he very well bests the first Dune score. The first Dune score was very underwhelming for me. And this one was amazing.
Did he win the Oscar for the first Dune score? Am I mistaken on that?
I think he might have.
Can't remember.
Yeah. But Dune 2 was just so good. Everyone, you should go out and see it. I actually did not care for the first Dune. But this makes it worth it watching the first Dune. This is the movie of the year.
Love it.
Yeah. I wish the Oscars could say the same, but it's looking like they're going down their own route this year again. So it's anyone's game at the Best Picture Awards. But
I guess that is one interesting thing about it. Like, I mean, we went in last year knowing Oppie was going to win everything.
Yeah.
But like we're going in this year, it's like, I don't even know. I have no idea what's going to win.
That's what's the fun about it. But also, like, it's also a bunch of movies.
I'm still not going to watch
that I don't even want to see.
I don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah.
I want to watch Conan O'Brien host. That's literally all I care about.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. That. Like. Yeah, I really think the only movie that I've seen that has some chance of winning some stuff is Conclave, because Challengers wasn't nominated for anything, and I know Dune 2 is not going to get anything. So anyway, that is my best picture. That is your best picture. That is all our awards for this year.
We have closed the door on 2024.
Now we look ahead.
Nothing left in store.
Before we look ahead to see what's in jive with 2025, I want us to reflect on how our most anticipated films of 2024 panned out for the both of us. Now, Ryan, let me refresh your memory here. Your
Tell me
most
now.
anticipated for 2024
Let's go. Yeah,
was
let's go one by one here.
number 5, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Didn't see it. Heard decent things about it.
Number 4, The Fall Guy.
Didn't see it. Heard good things about it.
I did see it. It was fun. It was fun.
Okay, I believe I put this movie on my BTNH challenge list, so I believe I will be seeing this movie.
Excellent.
Relatively soon.
Number 3, which I am very surprised you didn't see, Inside Out 2.
Yes, this is the biggest one where I just haven't gotten around to it, and I will be watching this soon. I've heard very good things. Inside Out, first one is honestly probably one of my favorite movies. So, this is one I definitely have to get on, and would have. I'm gonna go on a limb and say this would have been my best picture if I had been able to fit it in. But c'est la vie.
Number 2, Furiosa.
I gave that number 2. Wow.
Yeah.
I was excited for it, but that was another one where again I heard great things, but I didn't have the desire to go to a theater and see it really, and it's just kind of like it had a weird thing where it did okay at theaters but not great, and it was kind of a middling thing. So it happens.
And number 1, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay, that one mapped out. I wonder if that's the first time where our most anticipated for either of us ends up being our number 1 movie.
I think because I know Oppenheimer wasn't my most anticipated for 2023.
Oh, I can't remember at all what my anticipated was for that.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But anyway, Mikey, I'll list the years out for you now.
Oh yes, please.
Number 5, we have Megalopolis.
Didn't see it. Wish I could see it, but it seems to be only in select theaters for the rest of eternity because it bombed so bad, and it has like this weird thing where like the usher has to interact with the movie.
Yes.
So I don't know if I'll ever see it, but I would love to one day.
Yeah, it is one of those movies where it's just so bizarre. I kind of do want to see it. Number 4, Spaceman. What is this one?
This was the Adam Sandler and Paul Dano movie.
Oh, where he's the only guy in it, basically, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was.
Yes.
I turned it off halfway through. It was horrible.
Okay. Number 3, Batman Beyond the Spider-Verse Part 1, which I'm surprised wasn't in mine.
You mean Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, that's what I said. Beyond the Spider-Verse Part 1.
You said Batman Beyond.
Oh, did I? Oh, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Didn't come out this year. We don't know when it will.
Yeah, that's right, because that was early 23 was Part 1, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so this was for Part 2 you were anticipating, which, I mean, I think this movie has now been delayed to like 2028 or something.
Yeah.
Number 2, Mickey 17.
Did not come out in 2024 either, but it will be coming out in March.
And number 1, just tell the people what it was, Mikey. To tell it to the people like Count Orlok.
I don't know what I was thinking. I saw that it was probably the best movie on the list that interested me. Yeah, it was like when I saw the list, that was like the best thing I saw because it was like Kung Fu Panda 4 and all there's other like weird things and movies that I didn't even know were gonna come out. So it got there, and it is now one of my least favorite movies of the year.
I don't remember if I even knew this movie was coming out until you mentioned it during last year's pod.
No, you did. It was in your honorable.
Oh, that's right. You said it was on my list. Yeah. I think maybe I just didn't know like people were excited about it, and like you told me details about it I didn't know before or something. But
and shame on me because that was like a horror movie that I'm excited for. Like what the fuck, Mikey? Come on.
Yeah, you're not a horror movie guy,
and I was.
But you're an Eggers guy.
Yeah. But because I don't know, he's a different type of. It's not really horror.
No, not at all.
He tried to be too much here.
The Witch and Lighthouse stand out. Yeah, this just
Anyway, maybe this proves that we have a broken system on our hands. Because one, we really get movies that may not even come out this year at this time of the year when we look up upcoming movies.
Or there will be generational bombs.
Yeah, and 2, like throughout the year, then you start to hear more about movies that you didn't know were coming out. Yeah, and no one did. So,
Yeah, I mean, going into 2023, you weren't like, oh, I can't wait till this movie, The Holdovers, comes out.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
we
So,
didn't know about it until September, October when it came out.
flawed as
So
it may be, here is our 2025 most anticipated movies,
here we
folks.
go.
Let's go. One off.
I can't wait to see. Okay. Well, honorable mentions. Do you have honorable mentions?
Oh yes, I have the newest Captain America coming out, which
Okay.
I just said to you, but I want to say on record here. What I'm excited about this for is it seems like the first movie in a while that kind of returns to the like phase 2 side of Marvel, like more grounded stuff, I hope.
Building.
Yeah, so and the trailers did honestly seem really interesting. And it hooked me. So I am honorably excited. Sorry, more. Then I have Pixar's Elio, which looks okay, but it's Pixar, so I'm gonna see it, and I'm excited to see it. Then I have the Superman movie. We spoke on that at length last episode. Then I have the live-action Lilo and Stitch.
Oh yes, that's right. That is coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am interested in the live-action Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Anticipation is tough to say. Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite movies, honestly, probably.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was on Disney Channel like 2 weeks ago, and I sat down and I was like, man, I can't turn this thing off.
This is what I'm doing now.
I sat through hours of Bluey commercials just to finish the movie.
Yeah.
But for my honorable mentions, I got 3 for you. I also have the Superman movie, which we'll see. Fantastic Four, First Steps. I am excited for, and then I have Running Man, which it's Edgar Wright's latest movie. Where Last Night in Soho didn't do great and was kind of. I think that's the only movie he's done post COVID. Also, I think it's only like
what
the
else
Baby
has
Driver.
He done again?
He did the Cornetto trilogy, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, The World's End, Scott Pilgrim. So I mean, those are like 4 absolute bangers, and then I feel like I'm missing 1 or 2 in there as well. But they needed Baby Driver, which was a big ol' hit.
Oh, I love Baby Driver.
I think that was his last one before COVID, and then he did Last Night in Soho post COVID. That's been the only one, and it didn't do great. So this is like, it kind of feels like, oh, he needs kind of a win here. And it's a remake of the a Stephen King book. They made a movie version of it with Schwarzenegger, and it's a really interesting story. And I do really, The Running Man. It's kind of like not post-apocalypse, but like in the future where like there's like there's like game show reality TV where like people are actually killed and people have to fight for their lives on reality TV kind of thing. So a little dystopian, more so, I guess you could say. But the Arnold version is very good. I do like the Arnold version a lot, and I'm interested in what Edgar Wright does with it. One thing holding it back, it stars Glenn Powell, and I'm just sick of seeing this dude's face. I'm not gonna lie. He seems like a nice man. It's just I close my eyes, I see his face. I'm sick of seeing him. I'm not gonna lie. So the fact he's the main character, I'm like,
I see Nosferatu's when I close mine.
See,
or his face covered in shadow.
Yeah, the face you can barely see.
All right, let's get into it. My number 5, the Minecraft movie. I'm curious. Let's see. Let's see how it goes.
Fair.
Your number 5, Ryan.
Mickey 17. I have not seen the trailers for it yet. I just know it's Bong Joon-ho and Robert Pattinson. That's enough to intrigue me. That's enough.
Number 4 for me is Zootopia 2. I love the first Zootopia. I actually think it's one of Disney's best more recent
it's
movies.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It's really good. It was very surprising for me. I kind of just put it on just like whatever, and I really liked it. So Zootopia 2 has to hit that list.
Number 4, I have a movie which I feel like has been in production for years, and that is The Bride, directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, where Christian Bale plays the Frankenstein monster.
Gangster Frankenstein.
Yes, and it just, the plot of it's wild. It's like it's not like in the 1800s or whatever in England or wherever it's supposed to be. It's like in 1930s Chicago. There's the Frankenstein monster, and he wants a bride or whatever. It just seems so strange and unique, and I love anything that kind of has to do with the Frankenstein story and bringing people back to life. That was the only aspects of Poor Things that I like, was that kind of stuff. But so I go with The Bride.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, seems interesting.
My number 3 is Fantastic Four. Hey, fantastic! It's Fantastic Four. Let's see it.
Can we get a good one?
Yeah.
My number 3. I'm double dipping here. I have Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. We got 2 We're getting 2 shots at a Frankenstein
Del
movie this year. Let's
Toro,
hope
baby.
one of them's good.
Have you
Let's
seen
hope
any
one of
Del
them's
Toro
good.
movie?
I don't think I have.
I think after you see his movies, if you did see these movies before you made this list, it would not be on this list. I don't think you would like this movie.
Really? I know you were crazy about some of the stuff you saw. Yeah, I don't think I have seen a single Del Toro movie now that I look at the stuff, but from what I know of his style and everything, I trust him with Frankenstein though.
Oh
And
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, so yeah, that definitely is clocking in at number 3 here.
My number 2.
Oh, he did Blade 2. Never mind. I've seen a Del Toro movie. He did the second Blade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My number 2 is. I might make a last minute switch here.
Ooh.
My number 2 is Mickey 17.
Okay.
Like I said, it's
second time's a charm.
We're coming off second time's a charm. We're coming off of Parasite with this guy. So let's see it. The trailer underwhelmed me, but I still trust him, and I can't wait for this to come out on streaming.
My number 2, I went with Zootopia 2. Like you said, it's the first one is absolutely fantastic, and 9 years later we're getting a beautiful sequel, and there's a lot of different ways they could go with it. I'm curious if it's warranted or not, the sequel. So, and I mean, Jason Bateman, Jennifer Goodwin are fantastic. So. Let's see what they can do.
My number 1 most anticipated movie of 2025? I
don't know what it is.
Karate Kid Legends. Come on! It's Karate Kid, baby. When we got Jackie Chan in it now. We're going back to, I think, China. And it's this. We got a whole new kid, man. We got a whole new Karate Kid. He's being taught Danny LaRusso's karate, and he's being taught Jackie Chan's kung fu. I mean, this kid, like, I think he's like basically a walking nuclear bomb.
He's unstoppable.
I can't wait. You know how much I love Karate Kid. This will be so much fun. So yeah, Karate Kid is my most anticipated movie. Let's hope it goes better than Nosferatu.
Yeah. I went with a movie I pretty much knew was probably going to be my most anticipated, and that was Mission Impossible Final Reckoning.
Is this the last one?
I don't know if it's been confirmed it's the last one, but calling it Final Reckoning, and originally it was going to be Dead Reckoning Part 1, Dead Reckoning Part 2, but then the first one didn't do great, partly because it came out 2 weeks before Barbenheimer, so it just died at the box office after its first 2 weeks. So I think it's possible this is the last one, which would be upsetting because I love the Mission Impossible movies. They're so much fun. They're fantastic action movies, and they feel like they're the only ones like that, that like are still around making these giant budget action movies like this, and the attention to detail and the with any kind of a Tom Cruise production. Which when I saw Dead Reckoning Part 1 was the first logo and title that came up on the screen was a Tom Cruise production. Before anybody's names, before any studio, it just said a Tom Cruise production, and that's all I need to know.
Good.
So yeah. So and the most recent one was the 7th in the franchise, I want to say, and it honestly might be the best one. Which I mean, not many franchises can say that, where like they're like 4, 5, 6, 7 are better than their 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like not even close either. What they've
not
been,
many franchises can say they have that many movies.
Yeah, and it's coming out 30 years after the first one, and the space they've been operating in with these movies is just stellar. So I have to give it up to that one.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I don't know what his stunt is going to be though in this one.
Ooh.
He's gone off a motorcycle on a cliff,
I'm sure
hung to the
some
side of an airplane.
reports and like leaks are going to come out with some crazy picture.
So we'll see.
I hope 2025 treats you well this year, Ryan.
You as well, Mikey.
And to all our viewers out there, we hope you have a great 2025. And we
Tell
wish
us
you
how the jive is.
What is the jive? Let's hope there's a big jive, and let's hope maybe more good movies come out. That
Yeah, I honestly.
Anyway, here at the Brinx Truck Hearse Podcast, we hope you have a great 2025, and we wish you all a Heidi.
Jump, house of jumping.
Jump!
is jumping.
Jump!
Jump, jump. The house is jumping.